Hello, Aquarius. Elsie here to do your reading. It is for the week ahead. Aquarius, how are you doing? Happy weekend to you. As you are watching this, if you're watching this, thank you, by the way. And as you're watching this, it will be the full moon in Pisces. We are going through a full lunar eclipse, a total lunar eclipse. So expect the unexpected, my friends. And emotionally, you'll be purging things. It will be shockingly emotional things that'll be happening here, I feel. So, yeah, hang on to your hat. We are in eclipse season and we're having 2 this month. So very interesting. There won't even be time for anything to dissipate or clear until, before the next one is upon us. So I've got some oracles here and we are looking at the week ahead. I'm always reading for the week ahead, Aquarius. If you've never been here before, you wouldn't know that. So whenever you get this next year, today, tomorrow, whenever, it'll be for the week ahead. So let's find out what's going on for you, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Aquarius, please. Tell me about Aquarius. Aquarius, at the end of this video, I am going to talk about an extended, if you're interested in extendeds. And I'm also going to talk about private reads and how you can find one if you're interested in that. Let's get to it. Tell me what's going on for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Aquarius, please. All right. Okay, we've got infinite abundance. Oh, money is going well. I feel like you're about to hit a time in your life here where you are where abundance is pouring in on you. Like it's like you won't even have to really do much. It's like you plant the apple tree and instead of it yielding 15 or 20 apples, it yields 500 apples. It feels like infinite abundance. So it feels like something that has legacy energy to it. And I also feel like it's like there's a lot of people or a community of people who are helping you feel abundant. If it's not about money, it could definitely be what we're looking at right here, right? We've got people who are in the back shaking the trees. We've got people who are picking up the apples and putting them in the baskets. Some people are collecting them in blankets. So I feel like you have a community around you, but you're going to feel infinitely abundant here coming into the week ahead. Tell me more about Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Aquarius, please. More for Aquarius. We've got suffering in silence. Interesting. You know what? I'm not going to speak on that yet until I pull the next card because it feels like you have been, that the week ahead for you is going to be very abundant where you have a lot of people around you, but it almost feels like even though you have a lot of people around you, that you're feeling lonely in the midst of it all. That's what it feels like. Like things are going your way. Abundance is pouring in. You have a lot of people around you, but it feels like you feel like you're in a room of people you don't know, or you can't connect to them. You're not connecting to them. Feels like there's something going on in the background. Maybe they don't realize you're going through something kind of heavy. The sun will come up. The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there will be sun. I'm looking at the sun in the distance here. So look, you're going to have a realization pretty soon about something here. Feels like you'll have a realization or a breakthrough. And I feel like it's going to pull you out of this energy where you've been suffering in silence. I feel like you've been hermiting. Card number 9 is the number of the hermit. You've been hermiting or keeping yourself away from people, or that you feel lonely even though you're in a group of people. And I know how that feels. Like for those of you who have been through a divorce, you know how that feels, right? You can be with somebody and still feel lonely. Yeah. Reclaim your power. Very interesting. Reclaim your power. It's time to get out of this energy of suffering and silence. I feel like you could be somebody who is doing well financially or well in your career, but someone who feels very disconnected from people around you. It feels like you do suffer in silence here. Although we've got 4s, which is the number of the emperor, I feel like, the emperor is the one who has stability and security and more finances than they need. This is somebody who's running businesses probably. It feels like you're you're about to reclaim your power because you no longer want to suffer in silence. That I don't think it's that you're not grateful for whatever's going on around you in terms of abundance, but I feel like this is something that other people don't get to see, that I get to see, that you're showing me. And that is that sometimes you feel very lonely in a group of people. You don't necessarily feel like that you're able to connect with the group that you are associating with at this time. Tell me more. Tell me more about Aquarius. One last card and then we'll get into some tarot. Let's find out what's going on. At the end of this video, I'll tell you about how to find the extended or a private read if you'd like. All right, what's this? We've got a new opportunity. Oh, okay. You know what? I think you're about to make a really big decision that I think you know is going to break the hearts of people around you. It might be your social group or your family or people who have helped make you abundant. You could be an employer, right? It feels like reclaiming your power. Card number 44 is telling me of the Emperor energy. It feels like you could be closing down a business and possibly putting these people out of work. It feels like you're struggling to make a decision because you've got an opportunity, a new opportunity that's showing up in the future. And so I feel like the reason you're suffering in silence is because you know that when you make a decision about your infinite abundance, that this is possibly going to not feel good. It's not going to feel very good to you. I've got happiness in the distance. When I look at the bottom of the deck, that is for the rest of the month. So I feel like it's going to work out the way it should, or you will feel happy about however it's working its way out. It says new discoveries that lead to celebrations. Love yourself first. Well, this is telling you to love yourself first. You got to do what's best for you, my friend. Yes, something is transforming. Look at that. Bottom of the deck, right? Transformation, a fresh new way of living emerges. So, it could very well be that you are not telling people that you are about to make a really big change in your life. It feels like you're reclaiming your power, which means that maybe you felt like you had been giving your power away. So this new opportunity, it's an opportunity for you to gain insight from a new experience or a new job or a new partnership or a new partner. So it does feel like something is changing or transforming, and there's something that is fresh and new. It's a new way of living that is showing up for you here. And I feel like you've been waiting on it. It feels like you've been playing the waiting game here. We've got the waiting game, like we've got this timepiece in the center, right? The sand timer, and it feels like time is almost running out. You can see that that you've been growing roots, or maybe you've been building the foundation of something here, and you're about to make a decision. Twos are about decision making, but also balance. The waiting game, it feels like you've been circling something around and around and around. How do I say it? What do I say? How do I tell them that I'm going? Should I just detach and be done with it, or should I make an excuse? Or it feels like you're overthinking it because you don't really want to hurt anybody. But I think time is about to run out, and you've been waiting for an answer to come, and I don't think you quite have the answer because you're suffering in silence. It feels like you that you are making a really big decision that's going to shift your reality, which means it's going to either break you away from this crowd of people who really have helped you with your abundance. So it could be employees, it could be friends, it could be a group of people or a community possibly that you're moving away from. We've got the beaver spirit. It says lay a solid foundation. So I feel like you are in this new opportunity and you want to lay a solid foundation somewhere else. It feels like I no longer have use for the business, or I feel like the business has me trapped, or this group of people assume I'm just going to be here forever and I'm not going to. And I feel like you suffer in silence because there's the 6 here is the lover's energy, which is a choice. And so it's your choice. It's not something you have to do. And I think that's what you're struggling with, that you're trying to do the best thing for you. And you're making a choice to move forward and lay a solid foundation somewhere else. You're building with someone else or want to build with someone else. It could be in business or in love. Let's talk about tarot. Tell me about Aquarius, please. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Aquarius. Tell me what's going on. Tell me about infinite abundance. Abundance is pouring into your life. And so it's almost like, when the sitcoms, when they run for like 10 or 13 years, they want to sort of leave on a high note. They don't want to leave at a time when their ratings are dropping. They want to leave on a high note, because then that leaves opportunity for them to come back and do something new, or make a movie from the end, or you know what I mean? So it feels like you want to leave on a high note is what it feels like here. Tell me more about abundance pouring into your life. We've got the Four of Swords. So maybe it is the abundance we're talking about is healing or spiritual abundance. It feels like, you've been waiting or trying to pass time where you are, or you've been taking time to heal. So wherever you are, I feel the abundance that's pouring in is healing for you. And maybe you are at a place where you've done the healing, and maybe now it's time to move on. Oh, I think I've said this to you before. Suffering in silence. Tell me about this. We do have the Knight of Pentacles. So you're trying to break away slowly. I don't think you want to do it really quickly. It's like, first I'll sell this, then I'll sell that. If it's business, like it feels like you're doing it slowly so as not to alarm anybody. Tell me about reclaiming your power. We've got the Two of Pentacles. You're about to make the decision. Oh, look at that. We got a full moon. It might be this weekend that you make the decision. We've got a full moon here. You're releasing something. Tell me about this new opportunity. There's a decision being made here in the midst of all the busyness. Ooh, boy, look at that. Isn't this interesting? So the World card is here, and the World card is an indication that you have run the gamut. You've run the cycle. It's time for something to end. I need a change. It's like I've accomplished what I came here to do. So it does feel like you are making the best decision for yourself. That is not going to be the best decision for people around you, but I feel like the World card is telling me that you've accomplished something here, or you've reached a milestone where you feel like it's time. You've been waiting, but it's time for you to transform. It's time for you to build something somewhere else. Tell me what's going on here. This could be a healing community, a spiritual community. It feels like I'm talking about the Four of Swords, that maybe it's a hospital, or people, maybe you work in a hospital, but it feels like this healing. It feels like there's been some healing here, but it's taken some time to heal. You can see she's laying on a timepiece here, but clocks for me are always divine timing. So I feel you're just doing what your destiny is. I feel like you're getting back on the path of destiny. I want to say that it almost feels like you made a pit stop somewhere and you didn't intend to, but you gained a family of people, but you never intended to stay there permanently. Could be a church. Tell me what this is here. The Eight of Wands, the Five of Swords. And the Page of Swords is in the reverse. Just listening, sorry. Charlie's yapping in my ear. Charlie's my guide, by the way. It's hard for me to talk when he's talking. So the Eight of Wands. So this is fast movement. I'm going to say that with the Eight of Wands, and Charlie's right, I think that you're not giving much advance notice. I want to say it, no matter what the situation is, you're not giving anybody advance notice. It's going to come out. It's going to seem like it comes out of nowhere. And the Five of Swords it's going to cause people to be in an energy of arguments and fights. And why didn't you tell me sooner? And like it feels like you're about to do the Aquarius thing. I'm just going to say you're about to do the Aquarius thing. You're about to break away. I'm just going to do what I'm going to do. You guys are going to have to deal with the fallout. And you're just making a decision and saying it. And sometimes you can be guilty of that, right? Just saying it. And sometimes it's going to hurt other people. But I feel like what you're trying to do, Aquarius, is do it the cleanest way. The Page of Swords in the reverse. and the 5 of Swords. That's 6 swords. I feel like you feel that this group of people or situation, it almost feels like you've gleaned all you can from them or the situation. And I'm not saying that in a derogatory way. When I say that, I feel like that maybe, look, let's just say that it feels like it's a church. Maybe you've learned the doctrine. Maybe you feel like you've hit the glass ceiling and there's nothing left there for you to learn. So now you're going on a spiritual journey. Like, it feels like there's nothing here left for me to learn. And I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but I feel like when you do get up and leave, because it's going to be without much notice, it's going to cause a ruckus. It's going to cause people to feel a certain way about you, like you never really cared about them. And I feel like you've probably been accused about that more than once. But the 4 of Swords tells me that when your healing is done, you've got to leave. You've been trying to pull away slowly, and I don't think that the slow pull away is for you. I don't think it's working for you. And that's why you've been suffering in silence. It's like these people are treating you like family and including you and all this kind of stuff. And meanwhile, you're just sort of moving away slower, like you're moving away and sort of suffering in silence here. We've got the Page of Cups in the reverse. We've got the 9 of Pentacles, and we have the Knight of Wands. It does feel like it is going to be with swiftness is what it feels like. The 6 of Pentacles, some people are going to feel like you breadcrumb them. Look, I just want to let you know that this is not how I feel about the situation, but I'm reading what the cards are saying about the situation. And the Knight of Wands gives instability. The Knight of Wands is giving instability, moving quickly, taking a risk. 6 of Pentacles is you breadcrumbed me and now you're leaving. Like, it feels like that. And I feel like you feel terrible about it because you're suffering in silence. But with the Page of Cups in the reverse here, it feels like you've been pulling away slowly. But I don't think you're necessarily listening to your intuition as you're doing that. I feel like it's natural that because this is Pentacles, right? Natural, the ground, right? The earth. It feels like it's natural for you to just pull away emotionally first, because that's what you do. You do the pull away emotionally first, and it feels like there are going to be people that see you as someone who made a split-second decision and didn't involve anyone else, and that they're going to realize that the reason that they're no longer hearing from you, or you're not showing up at the family dinners or whatever it is because you're moving or you're on your way or you're leaving the situation. It feels like here you are making a decision to reclaim your power, whatever that means to you. And I was giving you the scenario of possibly it's somebody who's now in the Emperor energy, who has, businesses, and I'm closing down the businesses. It feels like somebody is like selling off things. It feels like it's a decision that had to be made to release something, and that you have to do it as the Emperor. And I think that's what it is. It feels like that's why you were pulling away from the situation or the group of people, because you knew that the decision you were going to make is going to impact them. And you didn't, it's almost like you thought it would impact them less if you pulled your emotional self away quicker. We've got the 3 of Wands here. We've got the 6 of Wands, and we've got the Death card. So you're going to leave a bunch of people confused here, Aquarius, is what it is. So you're making the decision, possibly selling off assets, but definitely trying to slowly pull away your energy, not spend as much time with the people that are responsible for this infinite abundance. It feels like with the 6 of Wands that you're making this decision because you are done with living in this place where you sacrifice yourself for everyone else. That's what it feels like to me. It feels like with the 6 of Wands is you've been through the darkness, you've been through the fight and the war, and it's time for you to have some success or some victory here. It feels like everything has to change, though, in order for that to happen for you. And so I don't necessarily think that this was your plan. I don't think that this is what you did. I don't think it's a sinister plan. I feel like it's what you're doing that's best for you. And I'm always going to back you with that. Everybody should always do what's best for them. And it seems selfish to people who overgive themselves to other people. But I feel like the death card here tells me something is over. You're leaving it. You're selling it. You're leaving the relationship and going. You're selling the businesses, regardless of the employees. You're laying everybody off and selling the businesses. It feels like with the Three of Wands that you are expanding, but you're expanding in your life. Therefore, you have to minimize everything else. It feels like the expansion is here for you, but this is what it's going to cost for you to have victory. That you've got to end some things and reclaim your power. Tell me about the World card. Because there is a new opportunity out here for you. And I don't necessarily think the new opportunity is like a person, place, or thing. I don't think it's something tangible. I think that you see that there is more opportunity or another opportunity for you to reclaim your power and go off and be a little happier. But you first got to close out this chapter of your life. And it feels like you're doing it with knowledge and wisdom of everything that you have learned here. And again, we've got a full moon, right? I feel like you're making the final decision this weekend is what it feels like here. The Ten of Swords is here. Yeah, the Three of Cups is here. And the Six of Cups is here. So for somebody here, it's a relationship I'm talking about. Somebody who I feel that you've been in this abundant sort of relationship with, but I feel like you've grown out of the relationship, if that's what we're talking about. It feels like you've grown out of the relationship, and I know it sounds kind of terrible, but I feel like there's no other purpose for you here anymore. It feels like you found this relationship in order to heal, but it feels like it's, once the healing is done, then we kind of started to grow apart, because that's how things work on the path. Certain people are put in your path in order to help you through a certain part of your life, and not everybody stays forever. And I don't think this is something you went in and planned. I don't think it's calculated, understand? But it does feel like here with the opportunity here that the Ten of Swords is the betrayal. People are going to feel betrayed by you, because I don't think you're giving people much notice. I think you've been pulling away from a group of people for a while, or not letting them see you or spend time with you to hopefully pull back your energy and cut the ties with them a little bit. The Three of Cups is here. And the Six of Cups is here. I feel like this new opportunity is something that it feels like a reunion or a reconciliation of the Six of Cups. It feels like maybe there is like something that you have nostalgia with somebody, or you're going back to something, or you're going back round to something. And it feels like in order to have what you want, you must betray other people by closing the doors of the business or closing the door on a relationship. We're going to go to the extended. If you'd like to be there, Aquarius, please come with us. Please look at the very top of the comments. There's a pinned comment. It does tell you how you can get to the membership area, how you can buy this one-off extension if you're interested, if it resonates with you. And also there are pre-recorded readings and live readings that I'm doing that are private reads. You can spend time on the phone or in video with me. That's where all the sales are, between 5 and 75% off. Or I'm still doing private reads that are pre-recorded as well. Please take the link to Hypsee and go take a look at my pricing. All right, what's the advice? We've got the Sun. I think it's because you've had a breakthrough. The Nine of Pentacles. For somebody here, you end up single and abundant. And then the Seven of Cups is you got to deal with the fallout. The fallout is the Seven of Cups, the illusion, the release, the confusion, the emotional overwhelm. I think that people are misjudging you, but I think you're staying silent and you're letting them have their grief or whatever way they're dealing with it. I feel like the Judgment card in the reverse is people that are misjudging you for what you're doing. I think you're building a foundation somewhere else, something you've been waiting to do, because some sort of breakthrough or transformation is happening for you, which is major in your life right now. We're going to go into the extended. If you want to be there, you know what to do. If this is where we part, that's cool though, because I'll be back. I'm always back. You guys take care of yourselves and love ya. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.